Pay attention.
Creepy weirdo.
I would like a strong, powerful woman to protect me.
He'll fight for America.
Hip. Poopy square.
The Playable Characters Podcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode 700 of Serial. We are here with... I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This is the Playable Characters.
We figured it out. Adnan killed him.
Podcast.
Or that girl.
I never watched it. I heard it's good, though.
Spoiler alert.
Not as good as our podcast, I've been told.
Yeah, that's...
no death here. Well, there's a death sometimes.
Yes,
At least
true.
one character dies per episode.
Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be an amazing episode. To my left, well, first of all, I am Brian McGinnis. To my left,
Calvin Cato. And to my opposite,
Ala Patel, that's me, right?
you guys are quite opposite.
And then back to my left is Brian McGinnis.
Hey, what's up? So, everything good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I just want to dive into this if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
First of all, obviously, give us a rating, a like, a tweet, or whatever you want. Whatever you want to do.
Subscribe on iTunes.
Subscribe.
Give us a 5-star rating.
Or not iTunes, anything.
A Podbean, go to Podbean. Subscribe there.
Yeah.
we also have a Patreon, so please
Yep.
feel free. Patreon.com/playable podcast, where you can payable all of us, and that would be great.
Yes. So, this guest today.
Famous guest.
Really. So probably the game I put more quarters into ever, or at least the game related to what I think this guy's a little different, to be honest. So, but not the NBA Jam announcer. We have with us today the WNBA Jam announcer. How are you, man? How are you?
Great, guys. How are you?
This is what a treat to have you back. To have you here.
Podcastic.
Yeah.
I love it. Podtastic. Yeah, that's us. So what's your name? What can we call you?
My sheet doesn't have your name on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Mitzrau. My brother, of course, was Tim Mitzrau of NBA Jam.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
the New England Mitzraus.
That's us.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So your brother was the NBA Jam guy,
Yes.
and you are the WNBA guy.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a WNBA Jam.
Well, it's actually called WNBA Layup.
I get, yeah.
Less-
Yeah, there's not much jamming going on.
I mean,
Well, it's part of the Jam franchise.
right, of course. That's good. So how'd you get me? It's kind of like the Buffer brothers, who do boxing. Is that kind of how it started with you guys? Like
Right. I'm the MMA buffer, I guess.
The lesser buffer.
Yeah.
Or the equal buffer. The same buffer. I didn't mean-
It's the
No,
same.
the lesser. I know who I am.
Okay.
Now, are you a fan of the WNBA? Let's kind of get into how'd you choose this game of all games?
Sometimes the game chooses you. And I needed work.
Okay.
And I may have fudged some things on my application. Jim, Tim kind of look the same.
Okay.
But by the time I was there, they were desperate for an announcer. And I said, well, I'm here. Tim's across the country, so you can use me.
There you go. And look at
And
that.
then they liked what I did for them. So
Very cool. I mean, obviously your brother is known for the catchphrases, right? Boom,
Sure.
shakalaka, kaboom, all that stuff. Is like, do you have some of your own that you've been using for a WNBA?
well, sure.
player?
There's Bounce Passalaka. And for some of the superstars,
When do you
like,
say that one?
I'm sorry?
When do you say bounce shakalaka?
After 2 bounce passes,
Two
the
bounce
ball turns mildly warm.
Nice. Okay. I mean, yeah, they're good with the fundamentals, they say.
Yes.
The WNBA ladies.
Right, and then we have calls for superstars like Brittany Griner.
Oh, she's the big one, right?
Frankengrind,
Okay.
if she gets starts making shots.
All right, that's cool.
Okay, cool.
Do you know any other players of the WNBA?
What about Cheryl Swoops?
Oh, there you go. Is she
Yeah.
still playing? Swoops?
No.
It's a video game. She can play in the video game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's on the game. I'm sure she's one of the
Set
classics.
shot from downtown. That's one of my more popular ones.
Set
It's
shot
very-
from downtown.
You need it a lot
Yeah.
in WNBA layup.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. That's all. Do they have the basketball games now are known for having like the legends and the classic teams, and do they have like legends of women's ball in this at all?
Do you ever
or-
have like any like New York Liberty All Stars or anything like
Oh
that?
yeah.
Well, there's Cheryl Miller, obviously one of the older ones.
one of the best.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
There's Lisa Leslie.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Wow.
You know,
She's always good.
those guys. You know,
She was like the first famous female basketball player, Lisa. Like she was like the model /
Yeah.
player, right?
Do you have
Yeah.
Rebecca Lobo?
of course.
Oh yeah, she was good.
What
All
about
the
the
big
spoons?
names.
Witherspoon.
Sure. A lot of spoons.
They're all in there. They're all in there.
And one of the more popular calls also is when a player gets an and one.
Uh-huh.
I just go, take that, Mike Pence.
So there you go.
Wow, you modernized very much.
Well, because it's
Yeah.
a very, there's the league is there's a decent amount of LGBTQ, PGs, SFs,
Yeah.
PFs, and Cs. That was a little joke with the
lot of that.
positions.
That was good.
I like that. I like
those
that.
positions, Calvin.
Take
It
that,
is.
Mike Pence.
That's good. Has Pence heard? Like, does he know? Like, you shout him out like in the game? Do you know?
I don't actually know if he does, but the players, the 9 people who've purchased the game seem to be putting a lot of happy feedback on the internet.
Doesn't give a lot of quarters. That game.
Well, we decided instead of the arcade to go
Okay.
more for a at-home experience. So, like I said, 9 sold so far.
That's not bad.
Not doing so great, but we think this upcoming version will really take it to the next level.
Yeah.
What sort of upgrades have you added to
Yeah.
this version?
Well, there's what are the upgrades? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, better graphics, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
The Mike Pence line is a new one coming up this season, and after if a player touches the rim, you get like 3 bonus points.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
good.
so you definitely want the Grinerstein,
Yeah.
Frankengrind
Yeah.
on your team for
Yeah.
those.
Are you going to be adding a turbo feature so they can like run faster?
Yeah, no, there is actually a turbo feature which then makes them run almost as fast as men.
That's good. That's good.
Great.
They're just as good. I mean, they got fans somehow.
They're fundamentally better, right?
They probably are
Because
yeah.
the fundamentals.
If you're a Tea Party member, you definitely like the fundamentals of the WNBA better.
Olive, come on, man. Is that you? You Tea Party?
It's a Sue Bird. It's a plane. It's a 15-footer.
I want to play this now.
Yeah.
Do you write your own lines, or do you have like a team of writers who help you?
Oh, no, this is all me. I don't know if you heard me when I said 9 copies sold. There isn't a lot of money for staff.
Well, usually there's one play-by-play and one color guy, right?
Well, with this one, we couldn't get a colored guy. It's just
I meant
me.
a color commentary guy.
Oh, color commentary.
Yeah.
This is not that kind of podcast.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know. I don't know the language here. But no, I basically handle it all because the action, like I said, is at times moving almost as fast as a male game.
Yeah.
So I basically there's not enough time for 2 announcers anyway.
Right.
And you have time in between the action to think of more catchphrases, I would imagine.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you got some time there, so that's cool.
Have you thought about doing this for other women's sports? Like if they have like a women's NHL jam or something like that?
NHL Jam. Calvin's the most sporty person ever.
Let's not get ridiculous.
Women's hockey could be a thing.
Is
you
it
know?
though? Do women play hockey?
Yeah, they do. I mean,
Not professionally. Not
the Olympics.
professionally.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
they
the
had like
Olympics.
Russia or something. Probably.
Shamiqua Holmes clawing her way to the basket.
I love these catchphrases. So it was just there was no arcade. So straight to DVD in a way you can say. It went straight to home digital.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
in the Steven Seagal phase of its video game
Okay.
career.
Yeah, I mean, man, NBA Jam, the original, I put tons of quarters into it, and still do. And if I say that in arcade, I play it.
Jim, have you done any other commentating in video games?
No, this was my first shot.
was your
Oh
first
wow!
one.
Yeah, so
So your
it
brother
was,
didn't help you out.
Really? Well, no, he wanted me. He like I said, his name played a big role when I kind of wrote a T that might have looked like a J that looked
Right.
sort of like a T.
Yeah.
So I think they might have thought it was my brother coming in to do the announcing.
Then you showed up and
And I showed up and they said, well, let's see how it goes. Maybe we can save a few bucks.
Yeah.
So, but this was my first time. He's helped me financially. I'm actually currently sleeping on his couch in his garage.
that's nice.
So he's helping me out that way. But he wanted me, to get pull myself up by my own,
Vocal cords,
Bootstraps.
bootstraps.
Vocal cords.
because he's an announcer. He's
Oh yeah,
That's right.
that seems painful. That seems painful though. That's awesome. I mean, yeah. What like I didn't even know
I
that.
have a question about
Yeah,
this
go for
couch
it.
in the garage, though. Is it just you, or are you also sleeping with a car nearby?
There is a car nearby, but the problem is there are also kids in the home, and because of some legal issues I'd rather not get into.
Oh,
Better to keep a safe distance.
Right.
Oh,
Do you wanna
wow.
get
I
into
see
it,
what
Al?
you
So
put
you don't
that.
have keys into the house, basically.
No, just a one-way entrance and exit.
Sort of like
into
a
the
bubbles in
garage.
the wire kind of situation.
Are you
Absolutely.
just gone through like the doggy door then? What's happening here?
No, there's a full adult-sized door,
Okay.
so it's okay. It's not so bad.
yeah. Okay.
It beats the street, let me tell you.
Yeah. So you were on the streets before this.
I was.
Oh, that's
Which
sad.
I actually, and that's how I got knowledge of the WNBA, because a few of their players lived in tents next to me. Because
Oh my God.
I don't know if you
It
know, the
doesn't pay
game,
them,
the WNBA does not pay
They don't.
a tremendous amount of money to most of their players. So that's actually, it was sort of a blessing in disguise. We sort of would huddle around garbage cans singing a cappella, and I would learn about, their upcoming season. So that's what sort of inspired me to go and,
Wow.
give it a go at the announcing.
Yeah.
What sort of a cappella songs did you guys sing?
Oh, we would do like Katy Perry songs. It
Oh,
was a
yeah,
very
yeah.
empowering, a lot of
Yeah.
women, a lot
Firework.
of empowerment.
Roar and, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was actually pretty good.
That's good. Average salary of the WNBA is $32,000, by the way.
Wow.
These women take a pay cut, I think, to go play professional basketball. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Not a lot
Though
of
if you watch
sponsorship,
the
I guess.
quality of the game, I think it's been appropriately there's been an appropriate valuation.
There's some excitement going on sometimes, I've heard. I think there's some
Actually, yeah, my friend was actually a huge WNBA fan when it first came out. That's how I know about New York Liberty stuff.
15
Why
years
did your
ago.
friend? Why
I
did your
used to
friend
go to
stop being a
Antler.
fan though?
Huh? What?
Why did your friend stop being a fan?
She moved.
Okay.
What to wear? No television land?
Ironically, San Francisco.
You can still watch the WNBA there.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah. I don't know.
You have better things to do, like drugs.
My daughter, she's 2.5. She's very tolerant. I think she's going to, if there's a WNBA in 20 years, I feel like she will be a part of it. I just don't think it's going to last that long. But
You have any tips for
We'll
for young girls trying to get into the WNBA?
oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's too young to obviously judge her orientation, but that can't be that obviously can't hurt you if you're of certain persuasions.
Sure.
The hashtag Me Too movement hasn't exactly gotten into the WNBA locker rooms yet.
Oh.
Okay,
Is there
I don't
some
want to tell tales out of school, but it's
There's some stuff going on there behind
well,
the scenes?
there might be.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know you
Calvin,
knew the behind the scenes because I thought you were just commenting on the game.
Well, no, but like I
Wow.
said, we were all homeless together, many of us. So I got that. People are at their most honest when homeless. It's amazing what having nothing left.
Do you think you guys will all be homeless together again at some point later on?
Well, I'm hoping that being on this podcast, this was, the creators of the game used their Southwest points to fly me in for this promotional opportunity. So I'm hoping that more people purchase the game and
double those sales.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get you guys to 20.
It really would be great.
Yeah. I think
How do your
NBA.
parents feel about having two announcers in the family?
Well, they don't acknowledge me.
Oh,
Okay, there's been some issues there with the family, but they're very proud of Tim.
Oh, okay.
Do they know Tim keeps you in his garage? Like when they
Not
come over?
sure.
Okay.
Not sure,
Like when they come over,
to
like
be
you have to be
honest.
quiet
Yeah,
or something?
I just try to
Yeah.
sort of stay in my lane, so
Yeah.
to speak, as
Yeah.
as LeVar Ball might tell me.
Who's the LeVar Ball of the WNBA? Is that one of the? Do one of their dads is are they really obnoxious or loud?
Let me tell you,
I'm wondering.
Alana Beard's father,
yeah?
real dick.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Is
real aggressive.
that a real name, Alana Beard? That sounds like a fake name,
Yeah. That sounds like the fakest name.
but it's real.
That's like a guy making up a girlfriend in Canada.
Yeah, well, it certainly sounds like it. But,
or a guy pretending to be a woman on a women's basketball team.
Like Joanna Man.
I was just going to say that.
Like
Joanna Man.
Alana
Do you
Beard.
know Joanna Man by any chance?
great movie.
Could that happen in real life? Do you think? Could he get away with it for that long?
Joanna.
I think in this, and I don't, once again, I don't want to get, too in trouble. I don't want corporate to get mad at me.
Go for it.
But with all the trans people now,
Yeah.
I think we could be 10 years away from seeing, LeBron James.
Oh, really?
I think they'd probably have to just cap a speed for the players.
Yeah.
You can't go faster than a man underwater because it would be sort of unfair if LeBron James came out as trans and then decided to play in the WNBA. I think we can all agree that would be it'd make the game more exciting.
That'd be good for you. You'd sell a lot more copies.
That is true.
Extend his career, he could become a woman and probably play 10, 15 more years.
He just reassigned her gender on that dunk.
I love it. That's a good one. Yeah. Bounce pass Alaka.
Bounce pass Alaka. By the way, though,
Yeah.
huge crush on Skylar Diggins Smith.
Do you?
Wow.
Yeah, what a fine looking woman that is. I've tried to get into the locker room to talk to her after games, but there you have once again, much like my family, there's issues with me going in locker rooms.
There seems to be a lot of issues. Where are these stemming from?
What else has happened?
Did something happen
before?
What do I think this is really about? I think this is about me giving voice and empowerment to women athletes and the powers that be not liking it. So
Right.
they fabricate a lot of cases involving women and Me Too and schools and keeping your and temporary restraining orders. And there's a powerful movement to stop women's basketball from being as popular as it should be.
Really?
And I guess I've got a big target on my back.
Does this movement have a name?
Hashtag good basketball. The good basketball movement is very anti-WNBA.
Okay. Interesting. Maybe it's playoff time now in the regular NBA.
Yeah.
So maybe I hope they can really rise above this.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
It would be.
Have you ever thought about trying to do some sort of like game where it's like battle of the sexes, where try to have an NBA versus WNBA game?
Ooh.
Do a little crossover so you and Tim could make money together.
Pitch
So
that to EA.
that is, I have not thought of that because it seems like a ridiculous idea. All due respect to the wonderful ladies in the WNBA, but if they would be game for it, I certainly could use the paycheck.
I think NBA Live tried to put the WNBA players in their garbage game because Live is a terrible basketball game.
Yeah.
2K is much better.
Oh.
FIFA put the women's soccer team in, which is good because they're actually a great team.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, what the problem is also is that I think the reason we dominate soccer so much is that unlike men's soccer, a lot of countries oppress their women,
Right.
which is great for our female athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It really limits the competition. Like, imagine if
They got a head
South
start.
America and Europe oppressed their women, how much better our soccer team would look.
Yeah.
I mean, their men, if they oppress their men. If
Right,
they-
right. That's true.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, you're too pretty to play soccer. Get in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe we beat Portugal.
Maybe one
I think
day.
you're onto something.
Yeah.
So-
FIFA Jam could be a game.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Women's FIFA. You might be able to get in there.
Floppa!
Yeah, okay, they do a lot of flopping. In soccer,
tell it like it
unfortunately.
is.
Yeah. I imagine you're probably interested in hearing all these backstories that he's
Yeah.
That's a layup!
very exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm just, I just
That's
want-
that's informative and it's like gets people
Oh yeah,
hyped up. You know what I
gets
mean?
the crowd hype.
It's accurate and it's hype.
Yeah. When did your legal troubles start, Jim? What is it?
Well, I had it,
Worse with names.
I forget.
Well, I'm
and Jim.
I'm Jim.
You're Jim, right.
Tim is NBA Jam.
Right, of course.
It was.
What happened there? Yeah.
I mean, it's. I had a pretty good childhood, but then, when I was at my freshman year of college, things sort of went off the rails, and some of those matters are still pending. So I actually.
Oh, where'd you go to college?
I went to a small school in Iowa,
Oh.
Grinnell.
Oh. Interesting.
Grinnell.
Now.
It's a real school.
Oh no, it is.
A very high-powered Division III offense.
Oh.
They don't guard anybody.
Okay.
Our team was 4-30 my senior year, but I averaged 29 points a game.
Hey.
Wow.
And I was the fourth leading scorer on the team. Our team did not play any defense.
A lot of just kind of just passing the ball back and forth.
But that's where I found my love of
was gonna
offensive
say-
basketball.
Yeah.
And I would, when I'd be sitting on the bench, I'd just start saying, "This is irrelevant," because we were Division III in Iowa.
Oh,
but still,
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well,
but there
interesting.
were issues in Iowa, and questions about age of consent and things like that.
Okay.
So
I see.
and then statute of limitations. Unfortunately,
Were any of those
I'm actually only
questions-
29. I've just lived a very hard
You
life.
have. You look a little older.
So
yeah.
it turns out some of the things that I was involved in, the statute of limitations has not lapsed, despite very what I thought was sound legal advice from Michael Cohen, my lawyer. Turns out, nope. Case
No.
is still good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
you
that,
sound very political. I mean, you mentioned Mike Pence.
He's woke.
Dumping Mike
Yeah.
Cohen.
Well, no, I mean, you just you've got to find an edge for your game, and it just so happens Michael Cohen was briefly my attorney before he started being the bag man for our president.
not a fan of the president.
I think he's done some good things, I think, but I think what bothers me is obviously his treatment of women. He
Really?
seems to have this affinity for big-breasted women, which obviously, as a fan of the WNBA, is not something I subscribe to.
No, I guess not.
Yeah.
Be hard to play
So,
with
you know,
that.
I like a more athletic, almost youthful sort of figure to my woman.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying.
This took a bad
Now
turn.
you can see how I got in trouble
Yeah.
with the
Yes.
WNBA. My advice to people like R. Kelly is no need to go for a 15-year-old. Just find a 20-year-old who looks 15, and you're in the clear. The WNBA is literally a horny of plenty, if I may, of the kind of women that I like, and there's no legal issue there.
Was R. Kelly asking for this advice?
No, but I thought it timely.
Oh, he's just
Yeah.
It's a free. That's a freebie.
He should take a nap.
That's
Put it
a
out
freebie,
there.
Robert.
Yeah.
If you're listening, R. Kelly.
Is he still going with that stuff? Did he do something weird a couple months ago?
Well,
Or like
he
year-
did that. He had that post where he's like, "Hey, I'm going to Wakanda," and like all Black Twitter was like, "No, you're not
boy.
invited at all."
Oh, R. Kelly.
Yeah.
When will he learn?
Never.
That's a golden shower. That's actually what we say at the end of the championship. Spoiler: when they dump the lemon lime Gatorade on the
Very
on the
cool.
coach.
That's good. Are there coaches in the WNBA?
Yeah, they all look like Steve Kerr, whether they're men or women.
That kind of makes sense.
That's androgyny.
Yeah. Very
What is-
good.
you use it as a play-by-play catchphrase?
No, that's one of the calls we have.
What does that describe?
You know, it's basically, you know, when a woman makes a particularly aggressive move, you know, one that might
Like an elbow thing.
So one might associate more with the rough and tumble of the '80s NBA. You know, that's when we'll use it. So if a woman throws an elbow, you know, and you see an injury, like that's androgyny.
Right. That's
Is
good.
is the call.
Now, who's your favorite player of all time? Jim? I keep forgetting.
Just man or woman.
yeah, both. Let's do both.
I was a big fan of Bison Dele.
Wow.
Who was that again?
Lived in, used to be, I forget his first name. I try to respect his choice. He's the guy who disappeared on a boat, which sometimes I want to do. So,
Hey, we've all been there.
but my favorite player of all time, that's an interesting question.
So many to choose from.
I would probably say the player that reminded me of me, Pete Maravich.
Really?
Wow, really?
Pistol Pete, huh?
Yeah, explosive scorer.
That was you. 29
with-
a game. The modern day Warriors.
Just without the terminal illness and evangelical Christian conversion.
Right.
Everything else, though, very similar.
Behind the backs passing. And
A
all
lot
that
of
kind
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Grinnell was fun.
Calvin, who's your favorite basketball player?
Patrick Ewing.
I think you said one other time. That's the only one you know. That's the only player you know, I think. So.
I know.
Why? Because he's Jamaican?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't follow. Oh, Patrick, yeah.
I know. Well, I used to. Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon.
There you go.
Figures.
Figures only the black
Only
people.
black people, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Calvin.
Well, no. I like Nowitzki
Okay, there you
because
go.
he's married to a black woman.
Poor Dirk. His career is over, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah, talk about a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Who's the tallest? Is Brittany Griner the biggest gal in the WNBA? I think, right?
I think so.
6'8".
She's 6'8".
Oof. Imagine meeting a girl taller than me. That'd be pretty nuts.
It's pretty crazy.
I think
Yeah.
you marry her.
I think I would. She's rich. Well, no, she's okay.
There are storylines.
Didn't you have the shooting?
Okay, I guess I'll keep that to myself.
I'm sorry. No, say what was that? What was that, Jim?
No, there are, and one of the unique features of WNBA layup is they have like sort of side storylines to keep you
Oh.
interested because the games are shorter,
Right.
so there's extra content filling in. So there's maternity suits and things like that.
You
Uh,
can-
You
buy
announce those
mer-
as well.
Frank and Grind had a lot of had some issues with that.
Oh. Okay.
So those are fun.
Do you ever
Yeah.
get to do announcements like that? Like that's alimony, or like
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, so you commentate the side story as well.
Sexuality is fluid. And there go Britney's liquid assets
Oh man.
to her
Jesus.
baby mama.
Oh, poor Brittany.
wow, that's oddly specific.
Yeah.
Well, she had a very strange issue with her on again, off again lesbian partner who I think got pregnant and then decided she was no longer gay, but then sued her for maternity support.
Really? Is that
Which is
true?
odd because it's like, Brittany Griner's a big lady, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't have the equipment to actually father a child.
Yeah.
She might have a turkey baster. You don't know.
but it wouldn't be her seed.
It would be her
impregnating.
Calvin's real stupid.
I failed biology, but I know that 2 eggs only make a good breakfast.
All right.
Over easy.
Well, I mean, I want to play this game so bad now. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, where can we get a copy? I haven't been able to find any copies.
KB Toys
KB
is
Toys.
currently
We have to
selling
go
it,
to.
so that's the most likely place to find it. But it's only $49.99. We decided to sell it at 83% of the price of a man game.
Okay, that's good. That makes sense.
Good
Yeah.
marketing. It's clever.
Yeah.
So what's the future for you? Like, do you plan to keep doing this forever? Do you want to branch out to other games or?
Well, right now, I think I'd like to branch out into other games, but the offers aren't there yet. I'd like more people to hear my work on this game, and that obviously. So thank you for having me on the podcast.
You got a great voice in the
It
game.
would,
I think it's going to
it
help.
would be fantastic if people would go purchase WNBA Layup.
Yeah,
They've got next.
they do. I thought it was a cool slogan back then. We got next.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah, but anybody could call next. I could go to a basketball and call next.
Yeah, but they got next.
Okay, I get it.
They called it first. So,
right. So I just have to wait.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
Right.
You gotta wait your turn.
And I like the one other current call other than "Take that, Mike Pence" that we've thrown into the game is when somebody does like a step back 3-pointer. Now it's not as pretty as James Harden and it takes a lot longer, but when there's a step back 3, I go, "Me too, me 3."
There you
That's
go.
really
a
good.
one.
That's
good.
really
That's
good.
a good one.
I like that one a lot. Yeah. What else you want to tell? Anything else? Any other last?
Yeah, you want to plug something?
Yeah. Besides the
Just
game.
if you could go to my GoFundMe page for my legal defense,
Okay.
it's GoFundMe.com/Iowa consent should be 16.
Well,
That's my GoFundMe page.
Do we
for my
spell out
legal
16
defense.
or is it the numbers?
It's
1
the
and 6?
number. It's the number. Don't
okay,
want to
it's the
confuse
number. Okay.
anybody like
Yeah.
I was.
All right.
yeah, that's right. Hey, you want to play a quick game with us before you head out? That'd be fun.
That's a yes.
Yes. All right. Let's play a quick round of Wed, Bed, Dead, everybody. So we got Jim. We're gonna give you 3 video game characters. You're gonna tell us who you want to wed, who you want to bed, and who you want dead. Sound good?
Great.
So here we go. So we have 3 names here. One you're gonna love. Not this first one.
I'm going to love. Okay.
Yeah, Bomberman. We all know Bomberman.
Love
he was,
Bomberman.
Man.
The game. I actually don't like the game. There's like 400 iterations of Bomberman, I think, and they're okay.
Some of them are good.
I like the one for Super Nintendo. That one was really good.
So
Can I
he's
get an explanation of who Bomberman
he's a little
is?
guy. He's got red mittens and red booties on.
Yes, very,
Looks like
very,
a real cuck.
He's got like a white, jumpsuit, spacesuit. He just walks around and throws bombs and
Sort of a gender fluid Mega Man.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sort of,
I guess.
sort of.
He's kind of a terrorist as well. He just leaves bombs behind everywhere he goes.
He does. He's kind of a jerk that way.
Yeah.
But he's had honestly probably like 30 games. I feel like there's so many Bomberman games. So that's the first one, Bomberman.
Is he a character in a game, or is the game called Bomberman?
Oh, it's called Bomberman.
both.
Yeah, he is the star of his own game called Bomberman. Been around since the NES days.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So that's him. The next one is from a game that I starred in, guys. My co-star, Hayden Panettiere in a towel from Until Dawn. Jim, you know what Until Dawn is?
I've heard of it, but not. I've heard of the title, but not. Don't know the game.
So Until Dawn is a cool horror game, and there's a couple scenes in this where Hayden Panettiere, the star of the game, is walking around in a towel because she just took a bath. And
Is that really how you can describe the game?
well, no,
Yeah, I know,
I
that's-
was explaining the character. So she was taking a bath, and then like people started. Then she heard noises, and she had to go.
And Vladimir Klitschko was okay with this,
Right? So yeah, that she's married to Klitschko.
Is she really?
Yeah, and she's like 5 feet tall,
Yeah.
but he's like 6'8". But yeah, so she's walking around in a towel for a while. So that's another character.
That's really a horrible, creepy description of the game.
Yeah,
it's
so-
sort of
What
like
do you mean?
a.
No, that's just one part of the game. It's a
Yeah, no,
horror
but no.
game where a bunch of it's
If
like
you
8.
give the overview of a game, you would say, "Hey, there's a chick with a towel."
I was explaining
Yeah,
the character.
I know.
I was explaining the character.
I do like
But the
Hayden.
game-
She's short and youthful, but those are adult-sized breasts.
Yes.
Hey,
And then this next
Right, Jimmy.
one
This just got creepier.
is from Final Fantasy VIII.
Uh-huh.
It's Seifer. I don't know who that is, Calvin. So explain
He
Who
is
Seifer
a magical knight.
Oh.
He's, svelte. He's got a very lovely long coat if you're into that sort of thing. He has a gun blade.
He likes to go with bare midriffs
Look at this thing.
sometimes.
Look at that.
And look at that gun blade.
Giant. That's a gun blade?
Gun blade.
So
yeah.
it shoots also.
It's a gun and
Yes.
it's a sword. Yeah.
It's kind of badass.
It's a sword. You shoot.
Okay. And he's got like a long trench coat.
Yes.
Well, what's his attitude? Is he good or
Well,
is-
he's evil.
Oh, he's evil knight.
So if you're into that sort of thing, that's pretty awesome. Are you into evil?
Well, that depends on what the Iowa State prosecutor is saying.
Yes.
I say no.
All right. So, Jim, if you want to go first, Bomberman, Hayden Panettiere, and a towel.
Her name is Sam.
It is.
You were in the game.
I know. Or Seifer from Final Fantasy. So, Wed Bed Dead.
Well, we're gonna wed Seifer.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Well, I like the idea. Obviously, somebody who's lived on the streets is currently living in a garage. The idea of protection and safety is obviously paramount. And
Yeah.
obviously, if you have a gun/blade, that sounds pretty safe.
No
And
one's gonna mess with you.
I'll take some of the evil, much like our government sometimes does. You got to balance some loss of liberty with safety.
Yeah.
So I will take the safety there. That's wed.
Okay.
Despite her ample bosom, I will bed Hayden Panettiere, a.k.a. Sam.
Yep.
Yes.
That's an easy one. And that loser Bomberman is
Yeah.
just, he's done.
He's got to go, huh?
Aw,
Get out of here. You're dead.
Yeah. Well, those are good choices
I
there.
respect that.
I think. Oh, if you want to go next?
This is some decisions here to make.
Yeah.
Right.
3. 3
I
to
Me
6.
2. Me 3.
I think I'm going to marry Hayden Panettiere
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
because I'm going to have her divorce Klitschko, take half his money. Now that's half my money.
Now it's Vladimir Kukjo.
Yeah, exactly.
But now you have Vladimir Klitschko, former heavyweight champion of the world. Like, you're on his bad side.
I know he'll be too ashamed that his wife left
For you,
for me. Yeah.
maybe. You
Yeah.
guys don't look alike. Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe I'll box him. Who knows? Maybe I'll be so confident after that. I stole your wife. Have a psychological advantage. Maybe I'll box him.
And lose really
Make
fast.
more money that way. Maybe I'll bet on him. I'll hype it up like Conor McGregor style.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll spend the night with Mr. Gunblade.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then Bomberman is
Really?
he's a piece of garbage.
I mean, he's a
He's a nice guy.
he's not a villain. He's a nice.
It's
he's
so
just,
dangerous. What are you gonna do? You gonna have sex with him? He has bombs all over the place.
Bombs
I can't,
everywhere.
I can't get it up with bombs all over the place. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Neither can I. That's why I prefer a more boyish athletic frame.
Yes.
Interesting, Calvin. What do you say, man? Webadoo.
Interesting.
Webaded.
What was Kelvin gonna say here?
I would. This is actually kind of difficult. Although I think I may have to agree with mostly everything here. I think I would wed Sam
Okay.
because I know she's a survivor.
Well, if you play the game right, she is.
I mean, I did, so she survived.
I killed her once,
Okay.
I think,
I mean,
by accident.
I did keep her alive to the detriment of almost everyone else, which was sad. She knows how to live. She knows how, and plus she'll be traumatized. I can help her, write the course and be like, hey, let's get over all these like horrible deaths you have to experience. We'll have a good life.
Yeah, she potentially saw 7 other deaths in the game.
Yeah. No, only 6 because the black guy dies pretty much like off screen.
Spoiler alert.
All right.
So yeah, I would wed her. I would bed safer. I think that would be cool. Little gunplay action. Never hurt
A
anybody.
little gunblade play action.
Exactly.
Okay.
I saw The Sopranos. It gets interesting.
But he's evil, though. I don't like evil guys.
I mean, I could change him in one night.
Wow.
He's always about that.
Always about changing people.
Hey, you never know.
With that D.
Or that A. We don't know. Or both.
Could be both. Could be both. Yeah,
No one wants any part of this D on this court. That's sort of a double entendre when there's
Yep.
like a full court press.
defense.
Like,
Very good. Very good.
And I do have to agree about killing Bomberman. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous. Can't have it around.
Yeah. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to wed Hayden, Sam, because she's always got to wear the towel. So she's always walking around a towel. I think she has no
so
clothes.
you want to be married to a woman who's always has to
She's
wear
always
a towel.
got a
It sounds like
sex.
you're trying to marry a real doll.
She's always got a
I
sexy
know.
towel on.
That
so.
is creepy as hell.
Yeah, it's seriously creepy.
But again, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, so I don't know what I'm going to do here. I think here's the thing: if I dead Seifer, I'm going to have to sleep with Bomberman, which you know what? I feel like he's a virgin. He hasn't really had much luck with ladies. That's just the way I feel. He's always got that suit on. Yeah. So I feel like I'm just going to...
He had a female partner.
Yeah, but who knows if they did. They look exactly alike.
To you?
Yeah, to you.
I think they're like...
That's like how dogs look alike sometimes.
It was like Bomber Woman. I think it was like his sister.
Oh, was that his sister?
Probably.
Oh, ooh.
So I think I'm going to bed Bomberman.
Wow.
I'm going to go for it. You know, I'll tell him to leave the bombs outside.
But
right?
if they explode, then you got to...
It's risky, but
Yeah.
it's one night of danger and passion that
That is very unlike you.
that I'm ready for.
Okay.
And Seifer's going to go, man. Fuck your Gunblade. I'll take it and stab
Terrible
him.
choices. Terrible choices.
I think they're great
I don't know
choices.
about
But if a
that.
bomb goes off and he's dead during the deed, he's necro-feeling it.
That's very true. See?
Catchphrase machine.
Yeah,
over
he's
here,
got a ton.
Jim.
Do you have one more catchphrase you want to give
Yeah.
us, or have you used them all so far, Jim?
Well, we've got to save some, obviously, for
For
the
game.
game. I feel like that's enough of a...
Right. We don't want
You
to.
know.
If you want to hear the rest, buy the game.
By the game, guys.
At any KB Toys.
All one of them. That's
I think it's also they sell
This
it
is
at
more of an
Borders.
Asian woman outside a buffet with toothpicks, not a... You know, we're not giving you the whole meal.
right. Okay. You guys have any last questions for our?
No, I
Lovely
just
guest
I can't wait to see some more Bounce Shakalaka.
Yeah.
And I hope you stay away from schools.
Bounce Pasalaka.
Oh, Bounce Pass a lot.
Bounce Pasalaka. Love it. Jim, thanks so much for joining us today on Playable Characters Podcast. You've been a delight. I hope things, work out for you, man. I hope your brother helps you out again, and maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Thank you.
Another game.
Hope he gives you keys to the house.
No, that seems very unlikely.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll tune in next week for another episode. See
Bye,
ya.
everybody.
Yay. So please check out JL Cauvin at www.jlcomedy.com. JL Cauvin is also on Twitter at
JL Cauvin, JLCAUVIN.
yes, JLCAUVIN. JL Cauvin. I say that as a true Haitian.
All right,
Comment
guys.
comment allez-vous? Also, I don't know why I said that. Yeah, check him out.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.